Hey guys, today we're going to be doing melody building on my track North Shore. You can have a listen here. I'm going to break down the leads, chords and bass. I'm going to include side chaining and the kick and also the white noise layering as well. So enjoy, and I'll play the preview first and the tutorial instructions will be straight after that. Thank you. Here's what the track sounds like, and we're going to remake this. Okay, sweet. So let's get started. No, we don't. So when you open up your template, the first time you come in, you're going to want to go new from template and select empty. Just stops there from being any of those kick, clap, hi-hat squares or anything like that, and no limiter on the master. This is just completely empty. All right. And then from the tempo up here, move it down to 128. Okay, so you need to get yourself the Nexus plugin and also the Silent One plugin, because these two are brilliant together. Why I use Silent One and why I use Nexus is simple. Basically, Nexus has a lot of quick presets which sound really good, so to get me sort of into the song, get me really into it straight away, which is what I like to do, because it gets me going, gets me motivated to get that track finished. As you have those presets, and then a lot of the time at the end, you don't want to change them because it just sounds so good. So first we'll start with the lead. When you get Nexus, you don't need an expansion for this one on this song at all, because I use these stock standards that come with it. First preset's Ego Punk. Make sure you get to go to the reverb section, turn it off by pressing this button here, and then open up Eurobuzzer 2 on this one, and turn off the delay on that with that button and reverb with that button there. Okay, next we will start building the leads. So hit right click, open up the piano. Okay, so I'll just start building away and you guys can follow. Okay. Okay, so now that you've got that, exit it. You just simply hit escape to get out of the box of here. So if you want to go back in, you click, hit escape to get out. Now you want to highlight this green spot here, you can hit Control C, then go to the next box, which is where the Eurobuzzer 2 is in, and hit Control V. And play these now. Cool. And next part is the chords. Actually, yeah, no, we'll build those and we'll come back in a moment. So here. Okay, just follow me on this one. turn these off so we can listen to the chords by themselves. Okay. Right, my brain has spaced out, so I'm just going to go check my old track and I'll come back to it and in a moment. Right, so after fixing my brain really quickly, I've managed to figure out what was going on, so that's fine. Alright, so just keep following me along with what I'm doing here. The way I built these chords were much different than the way I would normally do them, but yeah, it seems to work out quite fun. Okay. Actually, that's the easy way to do that. Copy those and drag them down an octave, so down to D4. Cool, so you can have this little add-on in here. You can decide whether to do that or not. I know I kind of like to. Makes it sound a little bit more full with the lead, it gives it a little bit of extra. That's actually not sounding so good, so I think I'll leave it for now. We can always come back and change it if we feel like it. Okay, so now let's work on what's actually going to be happening on with the sound. So go to this oscillator A1 area, put this up to voices 2, make sure this is on saw. Make sure that you've loaded it from scratch and it's in an init preset. If you can't find that, you should be able to go menu, load preset, and or load something, load bank, and find an init preset. If not, I'll put one in with the downloads that you can find in the description. I'll always put them in so that you'll be able to have all my preset sounds come with the tutorial so you can make it sound exactly right. So you can either copy it by following me, but for this one I will put in a preset. For the other ones I won't, because if you don't have the channel then you can't do anything about it, but I'll also add the bass in there as well. So let's get to it. So oscillator A1, set that to voices 2 and to saw wave, go to part B. Under oscillator B2, move this up to saw, and under voices, put the 2 voices. Excuse me. Okay, now in the filter A area, you want to put this up to an angle that looks like that, so it's low pass. And then a B, same thing here, low shelf, BA. Okay, so now if you have a listen. Really heavy. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is playing around with this phaser and with the chorus. So we'll start moving this. First, let's move this up to say 90 degrees and just have a listen. chorus button, and obviously you can hear a lot of things that's going on. We're going to move this chorus delay to about 5 milliseconds. The rate, we want to move up to about 1.4 hertz. The depth up to about 50%. The width, bring it back to about 80, and the dry wet to like 45, 46. And play that again. Okay, now we're going to mess around with these and we'll figure out what's going on in there. Okay, so the rate is set on about 57 hertz, depth on 40%, the dry wet on 42%, and the width on 91. Okay, and leave the feedback at 0. Now what we're going to do is you're going to go into your piano roll there, you're going to hit Control Or, you're going to hit the Alt button when you're about to small the note. Just bring it back a little bit so that you can hear the changing of notes. It's not as flowy, so let's play it again. Reopen Silence and go to this amp envelope A, and you're going to be working with both of these here. Go to the release and drag that up to say 1.5 milliseconds, and same with part B, 1.5, and try again. Cool, and now let's move on to the bass. So we'll go to the piano roll, and you're going to want to be following these bottom ones here, but they're going to be solid notes. So full solid note on D4, full solid note on C4, and a full solid note on B and B again. Okay. So load the init preset. Mine comes standard because I removed all my presets from the system because I kind of, decided that I use this for the majority for basing and chords, and I don't have any presets that I already want at the moment on them. But that it will definitely change as you need creative ingenuity to come through via listening to other things first. Right, so the sound we have now will be this. And that's no bass at all. So let's build part A first. 2 voices, low shelf, A, B. Saw wave in there, part B, saw wave, 2 voices, filter type there, and BA. So part B, when we go into octave, drop that to -1 as well, and so the oscillator B2 area, and then with A1, octave, -1. Try again. Firstly, before we do that, go to the cutoff and just bring it down to about 70 hertz, 68, 70 hertz, and listen. Okay, so let's play them all together. Cool. So now what we want to do is rename. So right click this, rename it lead. Just delete that one out for a moment and rename that lead 2. Rename this chords and bass. Next thing you do is you go into this area, make sure this is deleted because I'll tell you in a moment. Hit this top button and hit split by channel. So instead of making a lead and a lead 2 channel, it's just made one lead channel. You can just copy and paste that into the others. So now they're split into pieces. And we're just going to put them into the playlist real quick. So we'll load up 2 of those. Chords. Bass. Cool. Next thing we do is we assign each of these to a mixer channel for the leads. Press shift and we're going to load and click on this one again. Load it onto insert 10. So go Control L to look at the insert 10 once you've highlighted a channel. So now you go back to chords. Make sure only chords is highlighted. Insert 11, Control L, easy done. Bass, Control L, loads them together. So for the lead, what we do is we go to this top corner, we put in Stereo Shaper, and in here we put in, well, I've done a preset where you just go into mid and you boost these up to 7 decibels on each side. Cool. Go to reverb 2, boost this a little bit. Oh, actually no, we'll probably take that off. Put it about 35%, put the damp all the way up, put the high cut all the way up, low cut up to about 300 hertz, so not a lot at all. Put the size up to about, just level with that line on there, so it's 84 for me. And that decay, just bring it up to 2 seconds and have a listen to that lead, just the difference between it in a second. Next you want to load up a limiter. We'll use that in a second, and a gross beat. And when you load the gross beat, you just want to go and load sidechain. You should come up with this preset, and or something like this. But basically, what you want, I think, when you load it up, it comes up with this. The sidechain that I used for this was slightly different. So what we do is we drag these down. Drag these to the bottom so that when the kick hits, it's on 0 volume, and just right clicking here, right clicking again and putting single curve. Make sure that's right at the top. Right click for this one here, so you can see this line, you just want to keep it on that. Next thing, go to limiter, because we want to be bringing this volume down because it's going to blow up otherwise, so just bring that down to about minus 10 decibels and play those leads. Okay, so what you want to do is bring this seal down so it's just touching the tips of these sounds, so that you can see that it's just on it, or some of them just peeking over, exactly where you want it. It levels out where the sound is coming through, so that the mix sounds nicer. Next part, we're going for the chords. So you want to load yourself up a stereo shaper again. This time we will run it. Let's go mid as well. So just the way that we did it before, you can bring this up to how high you want it. So we'll go 7 decibels on these sides here. Okay, so let's load up the chords. Cool. Then we put on a limiter as well, and also a gross beat, and we do the same sidechain again. Okay. If you want to save that as a preset, you just click here, save as preset, and then you save it, so you don't have to redo it every time. You can just do it like I did there, and load up my previous one I just did. Okay, and limiter, just bring that down, say minus 7. Okay, if I want to bring this down to about minus 11, minus 14, and then steal that. So it's peaking at 6 decibels here, and the leads are peaking at around 6 as well, so that's good. Now onto the bass. So with the bass, we want to load up a stereo shaper, and this time we're going to be using Stereo Rise 3 as the beat here, and we want to actually just okay, so I'm going to bring this up to about 6 decibels. Let me just check where I've got them at. 5 decibels, sorry, 5 decibels on each side. Next loading up is a limiter as well, and a gross beat, and just load up that preset you made earlier just in there, and with the limiter just drop that down for now. So it's peaking at around 6. Now you can mess around with the stereo shaper. Try and get it on both sides of the ears. When you listen to headphones, you have the bass even, so I'm quite happy with that. This is different for every headphone, so I can't give you a preset that. You have to figure out what it sounds like with you guys. Just moving either of them around, you hear the sound change in areas. So move it to where you think it sounds good. So okay, right. So let's play the chords and the bass together. See what it sounds like. and let's add the lead in and just have a listen. Cool. Next thing you want to do is mess around with the sounds in here. So basically we're trying to have the lead come out a little bit more. The chords, trying to just mess around with the sound volumes until you feel like it's sounding respective of how you want which part to be louder, which part to be more in your face and things like that. So let's go ahead with that. Okay, one other thing I've noticed, go to the lead, open up one of the, doesn't matter which one, of the lead's piano roll, hit Alt after you've highlighted all of it, and create that jitter effect. Right, so I had a bit of a problem in there. My computer managed to shut itself down, but I think everything's been saved so far. So let's get straight back into it. So back into those leads, what we're doing is just shortening them a little bit to create more of a chitter or a stab on that lead. So once you've made that little change, copy and paste and have a listen again. Okay, how prominent is it in the chords? It's about the same. Just one little box if it's zoomed in that far, but you can pick up on that pretty easily. No, I actually liked it better when it was back a bit further actually. So. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see how much is coming out of the master. Cool, we're below just the bells on that one there. Next we're going to open up the kick. If you've downloaded the sample pack, you'll have the kick that I used in there. Okay, these may not be perfectly the same as what I have in the actual song, but the whole point is to recreate it. So create another empty after you've dragged that one in. So if you've saved the file on the desktop and you've extracted it, you can just find that and drag it into the playlist. If that doesn't work, go Options, File Settings, click on this box here, find your thing on the desktop which you've extracted it to, or wherever you're extracted it to, and it'll load up just like that. So yeah, let's keep going on with this kick here, which I think I accidentally put in the wrong one. Yeah. So load up 4 like that, and link it to insert 1, so Control L, just as we do. Okay, first thing you add in here is a parametric EQ2, a stereo shaper, a compressor, and a limiter. So there's a 3D parametric EQ2, 3D stereo shaper, 3D compressor, and a 3D limiter. So first thing with this parametric EQ2, drag this number 1 up, number 2 up, and the number 3. So we just want to try to keep a nice, more or less, general increase gradient in there. Okay, and let's play that. Nope, pattern. Okay, so on that kick, you want to click on it to bring up this window, go down to the bottom here, and pre-computed effects, and go to this out button and move that up so it's flat. Maybe just a bit above. That removes that sort of wavy feeling you have, sort of white noise extra that I can hear on the end of that. Next thing, go to Stereo Shaper and load up the mid where it's sitting around 5 to 6 decibels in here on those outside channels. Okay, and the compressor, load up a preset and go to drums. And now limiter, you're going to want to lower it down a little bit. Bring it up. Okay, let's hear it without. Happy with that. Let's draw this down a little bit. So that's just below 0 decibels, and let's go ahead and put that in there to there. Okay, so that's pretty much it, but now we're going to go into the little extras of the tutorial. So this is the simple part now. We're just going to add little bits in for that, but we'll go ahead and play that. Okay, cool. Next part is white noise, which we will add onto it. This thickens the lead, like the entire chorus lead, to make it sound a bit more full. So I have a white noise sample which will be added in it, which I use for a lot of my tracks. You can do this or use any sort of oscillator that has the preset of white noise to create your own sound about it. With this sample, it's so easy, and this one fits exactly where I wanted it with this tune. If you don't like it, you can always make your own one, which I would do if I didn't feel like it was running perfect, but I feel like it does, so that's what we'll use. Take the kick out for now, link this to a mixer track, so Control L. First thing you'll do is Stereo Shaper, put an EQ2 in there as well, and also a limiter. So with the Stereo Shaper, we're going to be using the Stereo 3 and bring that up to 5 decibels. Go to the limiter and drop that right down. Okay, and also a gross beat and load up that preset too. Okay, so let's just listen and we'll play around a little bit. Way too loud still, so drop that down more. If that's sealed, it's just on there. But yeah, that'll do for now. Volume, drop it a little bit. Okay, now with the EQ, we're going to just get rid of these slower area frequency, so we can just push the sound a little more high frequency. So let's listen to that. Sorry, without EQ, sorry. It's very subtle, but it just takes a little bit of messing around with what's going on with the basses and everything in there. And we'll try that again. We'll play that with the kicks. Okay. Okay, I feel like I want to move this bass, make it a little different, so we will go to the chords, open up that piano roll, and we'll just copy those basses and put them in. I just feel like I might create a little bit more jitter chords if you're playing it on the lead, so. We'll give that a go. A little more. So you put it at about 90% volume and we'll use a drive instead. So you open up the synth in here real quick, and we go to drive and we just bring this up to 1. You can see all the frequencies and stuff in the corner of what it's bringing up to, and then again up to 1 on the part B, and move this release up to 1 as well. You can see that down the bottom here. So cool, and have a listen to that again. Cool, I like that. Play again. Cool, I like that. I like that a lot. Now let's try this again with the compressor on. Very good so far. Okay. Now you've noticed that when we finish off the end of the chorus, we still have the sidechain continuing. To get rid of that, you go to the lead, or any of the channels that have a sidechain on it. Right click on this knob here, which is gross beat, and click create automation clip. Then you want to go into the main area. Right click on this last 4 bars, just on there. Right click below it, drag it down, grab this one, drag it down, right click again above it, and drag it up to the top. And listen in a moment, because we have to do the same thing with chords, except this time you right click and you go link to controller, and you'll see that the only one automation clip at the moment is the gross beat mix level. Do that. Click default, make sure that this is not highlighted, that must not be highlighted, because otherwise it will remove the link of that to the leads and only transfer it to the chords instead of having both of them linked to it. Make sure that you've done the default on here and click accept. Do the same for bass. And do the same for the white noise, and listen again. Cool. Okay, so that's basically it for this tutorial, but we will add in some hats and claps just because we can. So I think we might also add in just a real quickly a top down lifter for the track. And I'm pretty sure the one I used is in this sample set. Pretty sure that's the one I used. Anyhow, let's link that in there. I just want to remove some of that sweep real quick. Let's have a look what that sounds like. Okay, add in a gross beat and a limiter and a parametric EQ2. Once you've linked that, so you click highlight it again, find a new channel and link it, and add a gross beat, fruity limiter, and fruity parametric EQ2. Open up the gross beat and load your sidechain. But this time, what I want you to do is drag the bottoms up to about -4 on all of those. Okay. And have a listen again. So it stops it that when the sound's dropping off the other volumes that it fills that rest of that space so quickly. So you've got the sound. As the sound drops to the kick hits, but following the rest of the volume in there, the rest of the headroom space, is that downlifter sound, so you feel like it's raising volume as the kick hits, and it sounds awful. So by adding a slight sidechain, you can take that away. If you feel like it's still there, you push it more, like further down, or if you feel like it's still, if you feel like it's drawing too much sidechain, you can always bring it up. Let's add some hats in here. So let's actually, well, I'm on FStudio 11, so I have extra sound packs in there, so you can go through those and find some hats. You're going to want to find one that's sort of a little more raspy. I don't know what you would say, but let's see. That's pretty good. Let's find a new channel in there real quick. Okay, let's use that. And we're going to want to use a snare for this one as well. So let's go with electro snare. Okay, so you can hear that little extra after the snare. So you just cut that off a little too much. Cool. Actually, I decided I hate that one, so let's go and I'll find one real quick. That sounds pretty good. Alright, I like that. Alright, now link them to their own channels. So let's go ahead and put this on channel number 2 and the snare on number 3. So with the hats, you want to go in and add a stereo shaper. Actually, no. Replace that with a Fruity Panomatic, which should be up here. Yep. Okay, so you can listen to this. I'll show you what this does. Make sure this is selected on pan. Leave everything else as is. Actually, except for speed, you're going to move up so that's in line with that first one, and this to about there. You can feel that hat move around from side to side. So to bring that away a little bit from what it does, so that it just does a tiny bit, just have the drag on this just off center. Cool. And now go to the clap. And you want to load up a stereo shaper and a limiter. So on the shaper, load stereo as 3 and bring it up to 5 decibels. Cool. Alright. So now you can hear that. But obviously this can be way too powerful, so just back it off a little bit until you see the decibels come to about, yeah, just a little bit more. Yeah, 5, cool. And obviously get the seal just on top of there. Okay. Now you can really feel that hat moving around. Okay, and we add this on the second set of, yeah, and I also actually want to add on some cymbals. So go ahead and find a cymbal as well, which we will do, gone way too far. Let's see. Here. Follow that one. So load up that. download that one its own channel and stereo that with the stereo as well. Add limiter on and drop that volume quite a lot. So that's only pushing about 14 decibels, which you can see in here. Okay, just on there. Okay, and let's have a listen from the start. Okay. Let's go. So you really have to listen to your track with the clap to figure out if it's the right one or not. In this case, no, definitely not. So let's try that again. That's not it. That is it. Alright, bring up parametric EQ2 and let's just we're going to boost some of those high volumes. Just remove a little bit of those lows. Okay, let's try that again. Yep, so that's basically it for this tutorial. Took a bit of time to get that done, but yeah, so have another watch of my song, which is what I made the full track just right about here. Yep, that's going to stay there for a little bit. Yeah, check that out. Give me a comment on what you actually think of the song, in all truthness. Anything you would like to hear differently, any tutorials you want to hear of. This one was done as a request for melody building by one of my followers, so I thought, yep, sweet as, I'll get onto that. Yeah, so this is how I would build my melody chorus. I would have extras of snares and things for a transition. So I'd have like a snare pitch modulation, as you would have heard in the thing, and also a fill. I will add a fill in for you guys, just so that you can have a bit of extra in there. So we can find that. Just gotta make those fit in. Alright. Yeah, so this is just going to be little extras that I'm going to add in. Just makes it, fills it in a bit more, makes it feel like it's adding variation to the track. You can do growling basses and switch melodies and things like that in between to make it give that feel. Sometimes it's a little too much, so I try to keep mine quite simple. But yeah, you can hear the difference of transition if I play these with and without. So without. And again, with it. That's not hard enough. So yeah, simple stuff really. That's the end of the tutorial, guys. Please do subscribe and give me a like. It's going to help me out a lot. Trying to sort of build myself a bit of a community where I can help out a bunch of people learn how to make music and basically have a good time. Trying to meet some people to make collabs with. You know, collab, bro. Get on it. Appreciate the support that I've been getting lately. Yeah, so thanks to all you guys, and get ready for the next tutorial coming up soon. Thank you.